Testing, testing. 1, 2, testing. Toast. Is everyone there? Open up our volume here. And we are up. All right. Woo! Happy New Year, boys, girls, and everyone in between. And welcome to the first ESO Art Studio stream of 2026. We are a studio created by artists for artists, and in our sessions, we talk about anything that crosses our mind while creating human art. I am Esso, and with me, as always, is the co-creator and motivator, Miss Lily.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy New
Welcome
Year.
back. Welcome back. It's the new year, new challenges, well, not really new everything, but I mean, it's the tradition to say that for some reason everything starts brand new at the first of the year. Although
hmm
that's not really what happens, right? It's just kind of a benchmark for us. But
Yeah,
it's great hearing all the fireworks going off at midnight, whenever, you know, kids are trying to sleep and whatnot. But, you make do with what you got. Did you pop any fireworks at all?
no, we did not.
No, we didn't either. But our neighbors was popping well into 4 in the morning, so that was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, that sounds so fun.
My
Sounds like you
God,
got a lot of sleep.
dude, they were setting off the biggest mortar shells into the sky in our neighborhood because our neighborhood doesn't really have any kind of well, I don't think they do have any kind of HOA regulation where you can't pop in the neighborhood. So it's the Wild West out here, man. Everyone was going absolutely freaking nuts setting these
Literally.
things off. Like, you know, we, I think, well, the reason I kept hearing them up until 4 o'clock in the morning is because I was up trying to play video games and it wasn't quite working the way I was hoping it was going to. Because it seemed as if my ISP decided to throttle my fiber optic internet at freaking 2 in the morning for some god awful reason. So I couldn't even get any kind of gaming in. It sucked. It sucked. All I had to do was hear everybody else having fun out there. Oh my god. But one way or the other. I mean, we're in a new year now. Let's see. On Monday or Tuesday of this week, Lily and I ended up posting polls on our Instagram stories to get you guys' opinion on what our first art challenge of the year should be. It was a fight between drawing a character from memory, experimenting with a new style. Well, specifically a new style that we wanted to try from a favorite artist of ours. Drawing an original character, or just having a free day and drawing whatever we wanted. And beating the free day of drawing just by a couple of votes is what I would like to call Be Original, where we draw OC characters of ours. Um, what OC character do you have in mind, Lily? Anything specific, or are you just going to be drawing off the cuff?
I think I want to do like a necromancer
Okay.
type character, maybe a magical girl necromancer, because I like both of those things. I think
All
it would
right.
be fun to make a character from that.
Nice, nice. I plan on messing around with a OC from the series that I'm writing. And she is, let's see, man, what would I consider her? Her name is Serene, and she is a, hmm, I guess kind of like a stealthy, a multi-dimensional agent that has like telepathic powers.
Hmm.
But we'll see what I'll make of. What I really wanted to do is kind of like nail down a little bit of her costume, since it's been changing in my head for years and years and years, and it hasn't been until recently where I'm just like, I really need to hammer down, what she looks like whenever she's out on these missions of hers. So yeah, I think I'm going to be drawing kind of like a stealth tactical suit today. Um, but before we get into that, let's get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. As always, if you're watching the stream, be sure to join us in chat. It lets YouTube and Twitch know that you're here and counted. If this is your first time watching on Twitch, hit that follow button, please. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and that little bell so you'll get notifications whenever we go live or whenever we post videos and shorts. Um, be sure to follow Miss Lily on all of her socials, Instagram, TikTok at Lily Lilac Draws, all one word. And then her links are in the chat right now. And if you want to see more art, clips, or donate to the studio, we have a link spree landing page that we also have in chat right now. Outside of that, let's stick to New Year's traditions here, and let's go over I don't know, resolutions and goals and habits that you want to carry over from the previous year to now. So how about let's talk about are there any habits that you wish to bring from last year to this year that you think served you well or you want to expand on? Anything in mind, Lily?
I think I want to post more artwork or just draw more.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's something I wanted to do last year that I think I did pretty well on, given some or life events that happened.
Yeah.
Otherwise, keeping up with drawing and just keeping up with the craft
Mm-hmm.
and then just showing it, whatever I have.
I'm in the same boat. That's one of the things that I want to be able to do more of this year. Thanks to the stream, thanks to you, I have posted more art than I have posted in what feels like a decade. And I want to be able to continue on this momentum that we have going on here. And uh, I I I love that I've actually been able to post and to make and post art. Like that has been a man. That it's been a weight off my shoulders. Even though sometimes it kind of feels like, oh God, I gotta come up with something, or oh God, there's a deadline. But it's also one of those things where it's like it feels good. It feels good to draw again because it feels like I avoided drawing for so freaking long, and it just feels so good getting right back into it. So doing that from last year. I hope to continue to do that this year and even more. Like whenever we go over what we hope for the goals for this year, I got a lot. Was there anything else from last year that you hope to bring into the new year, or is it mostly art related?
No, I would like to work out more,
Mm.
just be consistent. Yeah.
Hmm. Did you was that something that you started last year that you're gonna kind of go heavier into this year?
I didn't start last year. I always grew up kind of being lethargic, not really doing much of anything. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I didn't join sports in school or whatever, you know.
Right.
I just stayed inside and read. Most of the time it was just reading. So,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I started going to the gym, and that was fun.
Right.
Um, it just shows you how not for me, it showed me anyway, how not fit I was. I already knew that, but you're like,
It's bad
dang,
getting the reminders for sure.
climbing these stairs is not fun. Like, um, so yeah, definitely. I was working out last year. I had some different goals in mind, but this year I
Mm-hmm.
think I just want to round it out more and stay consistent.
Yeah. I think I ramped up my working out going into later on in 2025, going towards the later half. And I think it was like I usually find myself working out more whenever I feel a little bit more stressed. And
Mm.
because it releases those good endorphins, and you're just kind of chasing that high. But in all seriousness, it just kind of working out helps focus me, much in the same way that drawing does, right? If drawing pretty much locks out the world around me and allows me to hyper focus, working out does that in a much more um, extraneous and chemical releasing kind of a way. Um, so yeah, I'm also with you there. I kind of hope that I can ramp up my working out for next year. If anything, I'm probably just gonna have different goals, different body goals. Because I think I've bulked up more than enough now. And I think it's time for me to start eating healthy. I do- oh, I hate that. I hate that because at a
Hey,
certain
look,
at a certain point of your of your life, right? It starts to become blatantly obvious that your metabolism doesn't work the way it used to, right? It used to be that you could
mhm.
eat whatever the hell you wanted, and as long as you work out, you should be good. Um, Not that way no more, right? Now it's like, oh man, I guess dieting is 80% of the plan, and I got to come to grips with it because this year, part of my goals is taking my health a hell of a lot more serious.
Mm.
So it's well, once we go into goals, I can go deeper into that. But anything else you plan on carrying over from the previous year?
No, I think it's just mainly those two.
Mm.
Whatever
Okay.
comes, comes, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only other thing that I plan on bringing in from the previous year would probably be um maybe like I've been trying to, as far as like day jobs and all that crap, I've been trying my best to be a little less of a wallflower and being a little bit more of a participating member. So and then hopefully that lands me a little bit more money, but we'll see. There's no guarantees, right? The economy isn't all that great, but one of the things is really just paying attention to how the economy is being swayed, and my God, trying to survive it really. So, outside of bringing anything in from the previous year, what are some of the new habits that you plan on starting this year?
New habits?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I think I already said it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
drawing more and working out more.
yeah. It's gonna drawing more definitely, and of course the streams kind of like is gonna be my main motivator for that one. But the other one is like I was talking about earlier, like the health aspect. I'm going to be scheduling, and this is going to sound bad, don't judge me. I'm going to be scheduling a doctor's visit for the first time in a long, 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 long time.
How long is a long time?
Oh God, man. If I were gonna put years on it, maybe a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Well,
not
okay.
good.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. In my defense, all right. In my defense, for the
Mhm.
longest, I didn't have health insurance, right? Health insurance isn't just something that you come across, okay?
Yeah.
We live in America, goddammit.
Mhm.
Health insurance is a privilege. It's not a right, even though it
Yeah.
should be a right, right?
So you weren't getting it with your
With any
job right
previous
now?
jobs? Oh hell no. Not in this country, man. Well, I mean, I get it with my job now, which is why I'm finally going to get it go I'm finally going to schedule a doctor's appointment. But before this job, I relatively been, pretty new to the job I'm in now, right? So, and I
Hmm.
say relatively new cuz most jobs that I've held beforehand, I at my previous job I was there for almost 6 years. So, this new job of mine is relatively new. It still has that new baby smell to it. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of my first jobs ever where they actually offered honest to God health insurance, right? So I'm finally taking that dreaded leap that all of us men hate for some reason. Go to the doctor and get everything checked up. But yeah, man, I didn't have any job beforehand that offered health insurance. So I never had, a chance to have a steady physician, right? It was always like ER. What is those? The emergency ER, or not emergency, but those independent ER visits, right? If I thought I had COVID or the flu, or if I was breaking out in hives for some strange reason, that was the only time I went in to see a doctor. But otherwise, it was always a situation of, well, as long as I work out and I try to stay as healthy as possible, I'm gonna make it, right? Nothing's gonna happen, right? But yeah, it's time for me to be serious. Pick myself up, put my big boy pants on, and finally go to the doctor.
Mhm.
Because I really do want to be serious about my health now, and I am super afraid whatever the hell the doctor is gonna tell me. I don't know what he's gonna say. He's probably gonna be like, "Oh, we need to take blood work," and I'm gonna end up fainting in the middle of them poking me because I hate needles. I hate them with every ounce of my being. So I'm
Well, they are going to take so it's gonna be your physical, right?
yeah.
Your
Don't tell
wellness
me.
check?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't
they
tell me.
they have to. Well,
No.
they have to
No.
monitor your blood
Uh,
level.
you're killing me.
So you're gonna have to fast. For anyone in the
Man.
audience too who has never gone for a wellness check, which you should.
You should.
Um,
Yeah, I want to
although
be
it is
sure.
expensive too, and yeah, I
Yes,
get it.
it's not
We
cheap.
don't have health insurance.
Exactly.
You probably should if you want to,
Be
keep at it
healthy
for
and
a little
live
bit
live a
longer.
little longer than you should. Yes.
Yeah, so they're gonna take your blood.
No.
You should probably
No.
aim to get the doctor's visit in the morning because they want to take
A clean
what's the
sample.
yeah, so the night before,
Yeah.
eat at a good time, not too
Yeah.
close to your bedtime.
Well, I never really eat
So
past like 6 or 7
yeah,
o'clock.
so
So
then that should be good. It should give you enough time for like a
yeah.
fasting period. And then, drink plenty of water because if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, it will be hard for them to draw any blood and then you might have to come back later
I'm gonna
when
pass
you're
out,
well
Lily. I'm gonna
hydrated.
pass out.
So make sure to drink plenty of water before then. And yeah, they're gonna take your weight, take your height, all that stuff. And
I'm fine with them. I'm fine with them taking all
well, yeah,
that.
but you have to give blood. It's
Oh, come on.
how they get
Okay.
a better picture of
It's
what's
fine.
going on
It's
inside,
fine as long as I don't look at it. I just won't look at it. I
Yeah,
won't
just
look at
don't
it.
look at it.
I won't
And
look
just
at
tell
it
them,
and I'll
"This is the only
watch.
way you're gonna be able to get
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
from
I'll
me,
watch
is if I
Smiling
close my eyes."
Friends. I'll watch Smiling Friends on my phone in one hand and try not to think about what they're doing in the other arm. God,
Mhm.
I hate shots, man. I've hated them since I was a kid. And I think, well, the reason I've always hated needles is because as a kid, we lived in an area that didn't have very good water, right? And I was one of those kids. You know how you always hear the boomers talk about, well, I used to drink from the water hose in my day, and kids don't do that no more, and blah, 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 blah. There's a reason why kids don't do that anymore, and it's because of what happened to me. I ended up catching a virus from the water that was provided to us because my family used to rent out this little house, and the little house ran on well water, right? Well, apparently the landowner never had that well water treated, but as a kid, what the hell do you know, right? So I would drink from faucets, I would drink from the water hose, I would, because we would always be outside. And
Mhm.
I ended up catching this nasty virus that had me sick for like damn near 4 days, where like they had to take me into the hospital. I think my fever got so high, they had to like cover me in like cold, wet blankets. It was a whole stinking thing. But the thing is that I was in the hospital for like about 4 days, but every day they would come in and they would poke me, right? They'd poke my fingers, they'd take blood, right? They'd
Hmm.
sample blood for me. And 4 days of that straight, until this day, I'm scarred for life. I think it's one of the reasons why, like, because every time someone meets me, they're always surprised that I don't have any tattoos, right? Um, and I think it's because tattoos have become so commonplace nowadays, whereas before it used to be like a symbol of rebellion. Nowadays, it's just an aesthetic look, right?
Mhm.
So whenever somebody meets me for the first time, like one of the things that they always realize is I don't have any kind of tattoos. And I was always the first one to say that, well, the reason I don't have any tattoos is because it's hard for me as an artist to like my own artwork. I don't like somebody else's artwork enough to have it permanently on me, right?
Mhm.
And that would always be the excuse I would use. But the other half of that excuse is I just don't like needles. I just don't like them, and I don't want to be poked by one 1,001 times. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not so bad.
I know. I know. I
I
always hear,
still
mm-hmm,
To be honest, I still get nervous, getting blood drawn
mm-hmm.
or, anything medical. I
Yeah.
think it's just the doctor,
Yeah.
makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
that
yeah,
judgy look they
I
give you.
I still get nervous when I have a ton of piercings and I
Mm-hmm.
have a few tattoos. I still
Right.
get nervous. Um, I think it's just needles. They freak me out too, but
Yeah.
hey, at least they look cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they freak me out, and but it's still a good. a good portion of the reason why I never do is mainly because I honestly can't think of something that I want on me that I could potentially like hate as I get older. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I don't know. I'm barely okay with my own drawings after a couple of days, you know? And I can't imagine like having artwork on me and then like I look at it and then I look at it and then I look at it and then my brain goes, "Do you really like this?"
Mm.
Either that or that's just a little bit of tism in my head, I'm thinking. like
I get it.
some people ask me like why don't I get my own artwork tattooed on me? And I mean, I've designed tattoos before, but I don't know, man. Like it kind of freaks me out a little thinking about what kind of what kind of tattoo I would want to give myself that I would be good with over time. Although I have had a number of SOs that have tried to get me to get a tattoo before, or
Hmm.
like matching tattoos. You know what I mean? And I always thought that matching tattoos were just a curse, weren't they? Isn't the curse that if you ever get like a matching tattoo with the SO that just dooms the relationship?
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. That's why I think you should get if you do end up getting something quote quote matching,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really like
It's got to be something small.
it's not their name
Yeah, it's
or
definitely not their
not
name.
something very obvious that it's part of a set, you
Yeah,
know?
something that's so abstract that it could mean almost anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, you can do that and match. But yeah, there's always going to be that idea behind it, that you got it
That's
to
nagging in the
match
back of your
someone.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know. I think at some point I could probably talk myself into getting a tattoo. But it would have to, I don't know. Like the only way I can think of like getting a tattoo is I would have to land on something that's really important to me, some sort of design that I come up with that's really important to me. And then once you do that, getting like a tattoo artist that you really really admire their work. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then having them done. But it's not going to cost any less than 4 grand, I'm sure. I don't know. How many tattoos do you have now? If you were to tally
Uh,
them up.
5?
5
I
of
have
them?
5.
Okay.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah. I mean
You can find a
mm,
decent artist
yeah.
for a good price.
How
Like
how
I
did you
think
find your
4,000.
artist?
She was part of this studio that
Mhm.
existed before, and they do these really crazy cheap flash uh flash sheet prices, like
Mhm.
$20 a tattoo. Obviously it was like a small one.
Yeah.
um yeah, but I since learned the story behind all that because I've kept in touch with her. She doesn't work with the studio anymore because the studio doesn't exist anymore because of all this drama.
Oh
She
no.
told me about it, yeah. But
Yeah.
she's since kept up with it. That's her livelihood. And she does a really good job. Like her line work is really good. I think she underprices herself, but I
Mhm.
think, a lot of artists do that to
Yeah,
try
I
and
think that's part of the
get,
course for us.
yeah, garner more
Mhm.
attention. But yeah, she's done two of my tattoos so far. I
Mhm.
plan to go back to her. But money. But you can find a good decent artist for like n- I haven't paid for one of them for any of them more than $500.
Really?
Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So 4,000, I think you're thinking like a sleeve, and
Or
even
like a
still, I
mural
don't.
on your back, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, 4,000 is a mural on your back. Cause I
Yeah.
think a sleeve right now is like 2,000. Like, it's not even that much.
Hmm.
Give or take, depends you know, who you're being tattooed by.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
if you're yeah, if you're being tattooed by someone who has a lot of notoriety, who's been in the game for a long time, who is gonna give you a good tattoo, obviously
Yeah.
gonna be way more.
Yeah, true.
Um, but yeah, it's doable.
Hmm. It's probably
Hmm.
gonna take a lot of thinking on my behalf if I ever do it. Oh, by the way, before we go on, want to say what's up to Doc Ock and Mark. They're in chat. How's it going, guys?
Hi
Hope you having a
guys.
good night. Hope you had a good New Year's, man. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy. But yeah, one time I saw this really cool idea that somebody had where they had like this grid approach to to like a sleeve or a sleeve tattoo where it wasn't really grid. It was kind of like honeycomb, like like a honeycomb pattern that they then
Oh,
had
okay.
different artists go in and fill in their individual honeycomb space, and it looks
Yeah, I
super
saw that.
cool. Yeah, yeah, it looked really
Yeah.
neat. I've always had an idea for something like that, but instead for a tattoo, being for a piece of fan art where
Hmm.
I like lay down the idea was always lay down like the outline for like a big group piece on like Bristol board or something like that, and then drawing in like one character in it and have it be like a big old character ensemble piece. And then every time you go to a convention or something and you come across like an artist that you really like, you say, hey, how much would you charge to draw this character and this ensemble piece that I'm creating? You know what I mean? And just
Hmm.
like imagine having this big old art piece with like a dozen different artists drawing any number of character.
Hmm.
Let's see. Mark said that a friend of his paid $300 for a tattoo of Ko, the face stealer, on his arm and hand. Oh man. Although I'm pretty sure for $300 it had to look badass, right? Oh man. At some point, maybe at some point I could be. I'll tell you what. I'll try. I'll see about getting a tattoo on my 50th birthday. How about that? If I can't decide what I want at 50 years old, then I'll never decide.
Yeah, I think and if you end up thinking too hard about it, I think you'll never get it done.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
true.
in
It's
which
true.
case, maybe it's just not something that's for you, you
Right?
know? Like,
Right?
who says you have to get a tattoo?
Maybe I'm not
Um,
that much of a rebel, man. I mean, sometimes I wonder about that though, right? Like tattoos, whenever they were first introduced into, well, in the earliest society, it was about tribal recognition, initiations into woman or manhood, right?
mhm.
And then it ended up becoming this thing where you only had tattoos on people that had journeyed and experienced the world, right? Like sailors and soldiers and people who were trying to show that, they had experienced other cultures or they were tough or something to that degree. And it was like that for the longest, right? The only people who had tattoos were bikers and gangsters and soldiers and sailors, right? And then I don't know when it happened, probably the 90s, where it's like everyone started getting tattoos. And then like I think the idea of a tattoo really died for me. Where or the fire to want to get a tattoo was kind of extinguished whenever my 16-year-old niece got a tattoo, um, with her parents' permission, of course.
I
But
was about to say 16.
yeah, yeah, you have to get parental uh consent
Yeah.
in order to do that.
Hmm.
But whenever she got a tattoo, my brother's excuse was, it's a good identifier just in case anything happened to her, right? But whenever she got a tattoo at 16, it kind of killed my idea of this being of this being the same kind of significance it was for all these generations, right?
Hmm.
Um, but honestly, I think if I ever got a tattoo, I would probably want to go with something a little bit more cultural. Um, Probably something that calls back to my native roots, with maybe the Apache tribes. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If I were to ever to get something done, yeah, yeah, I think that's what I would want to do. Just something to kind of represent the ancestors that came before me. You know?
Yeah. I think, personally, I think the coolest tattoos are ones that have a meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, anime tattoos and all this stuff, like the silly ones, cartoony ones are
Yeah.
fine. But I think, personally, I think the coolest ones are ones that have meaning to you. Like,
Yeah.
it,
Exactly.
even if it's the smallest meaning.
Mm-hmm.
I think something with intricate patterns and good line work, that's some of my favorite tattoos.
Yeah.
Um, I think something that would call back to who you are
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be the coolest one.
Yeah. I think I would want to do something like that. That would be really
Hmm.
neat. I would have to get over my fear of needles, but like I'm not even worried about the pain. The weirdest thing is that pain doesn't, it's not the pain that phases me. Even something as simple as getting your blood drawn, right? It doesn't hurt. Obviously, every time I get a flu shot, every time I got a COVID shot, every time, I got, especially like especially whenever my kid was being born, I had to get that, what is those two shots? There's two shots you have to get as a parent. And it's those shots with those long ass needles because they have to get into your muscle, you know what I mean? And I got those, don't even hurt. Although, funny story, whenever I got those done, right? So we were getting up to the day, right? And in order to get into the hospital, I had to make sure that I had my COVID shot and I had to have these other two shots, whatever they were called. I can't remember for the life of me now. And I remember, I'm a dude without insurance, right? So it's not like I could just go to a hospital, be like, give me these two shots stat, right? So
Hmm.
I had to, I had a nurse practitioner in the family, and I went to them and I was like, hey, I need these two shots. How do I get it done? She was like, okay, what you're going to do, I'm going to get these two shots for you and I'll give you these shots myself. And I was like, okay, by the way, they scare the hell out of me. By the way, be gentle, right? So here I am. I'm at her house. I'm sitting in her dining room in a chair, and she's got these two big ass needles, these two mammoth size shots for me, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm shaking my leg, and she's like, hey, calm down. And I'm like, I'm fine, just get it done. I just don't need to see it. Please don't let me see it. Now mind you, I had other family there, right? So I'm trying to put on a strong face, like I'm sitting there, I'm not gonna pass out, I'm not gonna cry, we're just gonna get through this, right? So she comes in and she gives me the first shot in one shoulder, right? Like I said, doesn't hurt. It's just the idea of a needle going into your skin, right? It's just the
Hmm.
idea. So I'm just like, oh my god. So the first one gets done, And she's like, "You're still shaking. You need to stop shaking." And I'm telling her, I'm not doing this voluntarily, right? So I'm doing my deep breaths, trying to breathe in deep, let out the air slowly. And then she goes in for the second shot, and she gets it in, gets the medicine in, pulls the needle out, and then she goes, "Whoa!" And I said, "Whoa, what? What's whoa? What do you mean by whoa?" And she goes, "This has never happened before, but a squirt of blood came flying out." I was like, "What did you do to me? Did you hit a vein? Am I gonna die?" I did not die, obviously, but yeah. Even whenever I'm trying to put on a brave face, my body kind of betrays me. Oh my god! But regardless, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get my blood drawn. Yay! But it's all in the attempt of being healthier this year. You know, trying to get everything in check, trying to be nice and healthy so I can live an extra 10 years or so, I guess. I wanna at least try to make it to 80 years old. If I make it to 90, that's just icing on the cake. Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, what would be the ideal age for you? What age
Um,
do you think you're gonna make it to? Judging by obviously this is all about what age did your grandparents last till. It's usually tells you how old you're gonna be.
well, I never really thought of that. My
Just me,
my
huh?
mom has just
All right.
always said she doesn't want to live past 60, so I think I've just kind of had that in my head.
60?
Um,
That's so young.
well, not that it's not gonna happen,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just the thought of living that long.
Yeah.
Because your
Yeah.
body just doesn't work the same, which is why
Oh, for
you should,
sure. Mm-hmm.
as responsible adults, you have to go to the doctor
What?
and
Us
make
be
sure everything
responsible
is,
adults?
you
Oh
know,
man. Yeah.
keeping up with your health and
Mm-hmm.
doing all this really tedious stuff. Um, but yeah, I've never really put any thought into it.
Oh man. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been existential. I guess that's the best way of putting it. Like I remember I was like 16 years old and I had this gigantic panic attack and I would not leave my bed because I would tell my parents if I walked outside, nothing stops me from dying, you know? And this is a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? Like why would a 16-year-old ever be thinking like that? Um and I don't know. But funny enough, that existential crisis that I had at 16 just went on to kind of like it was something that has always been on my mind, something that I've always kind of like thought about, right? Cuz I mean, my grandfather, let's see, he passed whenever he was in his late 70s, and my other grandfather probably passed away somewhere in his early 70s. So that's where I'm hoping to get to.
Mm.
Yeah, granted, they didn't have the medical technology we have now. They don't have the medical science we have now. So medical science is supposed to keep us going a little while longer. But, like I said, if I can make it to 80, great. If I can make it to 90, icing on the cake. I just hope that I have my wits about me, right? Because both my grandfathers, before they passed, sharp as a tack. So maybe dementia or Alzheimer's doesn't run in the family, right? But who knows? Who knows? I just have to try to keep my mind as as exercised as possible. But art kind of does that for us, right? I mean, the more art is essentially exercising our brains. So we get brain exercise every time we stream. All right, that lends towards being a little bit more healthy, yeah.
It's a nice way of looking at it.
Right? Hey, gotta look towards the positive, man.
Mhm.
It ain't easy, but sometimes you gotta try. But yeah, I think going into this year, one of the new habits is focusing a little bit more on my health, which means eating a little better, and of course going to the doctor. As much as I'm gonna hate that, but that's fine. It's fine. I can get over it. It's fine. I'm not a big baby. I can do it. Um, any other goals that you have for this year?
Nope, just those two.
Just exercising and doing a little bit more work.
Drawing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
saying work. Yeah, drawing work. Well, I guess drawing becomes work. Kind of a hobby that you we're trying to make money with. It all works. It's all pretty much the same at the end of the day. But yeah, I guess the only other goal is art, the artwork. Trying to, I would really like, let's see, this year, I would really like to try and get out a story. I don't know which one. Probably the first one that we've talked about for a long time. The one that I have pretty much drawn. I just haven't moved forward with it yet. Um, and then hopefully release like a poster with it and kind of get it out to everyone. Which is essentially just working on expanding the studio a little bit more. We got the first step in, right? We got the stream going, we got conversations going, we got our art challenges going, and now I just have to now we just got to steer that boat into creating a product. So the good part is everybody who's here with us in chat. Remember, if you're sitting on Twitch, hit that follow button. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. But everybody here with us, hopefully, I'm hoping this year that we can share honest to God products with you guys. I would really like to work a little bit more on our coffee page to offer tiered subscription products, anything between raw papers to stickers, or the artwork that we create here on streams. And anyone if you're interested in any of this, feel free to let us know. If there's anything that you specifically like or that you would like to see from us, hit us up in chat or in our socials. We would love any kind of ideas that you may have. But I think artistically speaking, this year I would like to work towards releasing a story.
Mm.
I think that's probably gonna be a whole year's worth of work for me. Trying to man, I just trying to get over that mental hump. But I think I could do it. I think I could do it. It's gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's New Year. I'm gonna do it, man. We've gotten this far. We just gotta take it a little bit further.
Mhm.
I don't know why I get in my own way the way I do. Jesus Christ. Uh, my God. I get in my own head a bit too much. Um, Other than you have any other goals, any other resolutions or goals for this new year, or those are gonna be your main?
No, those are the main.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. This is New Year 2026. The world's still slowly falling apart around us, but we gotta make the best of it, folks. Other than that, did anything else happen in the past week that caught your interest?
Mm. The Stranger Things finale came out.
Oh yeah, the Stranger Things finale. Damn it, I gotta
Yeah.
watch it. Okay, so without spoiling it, On a scale of, let's say, 1 to 5, how good was it?
I think for me it's a
Hmm.
good 4,
Okay.
but I can see why a lot of people don't like it.
So people
Um,
haven't liked the finale.
yeah, they haven't liked this last half of the season, and
Hmm.
then they didn't really like the finale.
Yeah.
Um, I can see why. I've seen people dissect it both ways, the good ways and the bad ways.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, for me, I think it's a good send off for the characters and the
Okay.
franchise. Yeah.
Is this one of those situations that you think that they um do you think that they are still going to be doing that movie after this season, or do you think they tied off all the loose ends pretty nicely?
Movie?
Yeah, didn't you mention that they were going to be releasing a movie after the second half of this season?
No, yeah, that was the finale.
Oh, that was the finale. So the finale, how long is the finale? Is it like a 2-hour
It's
finale?
like 2 hours and something minutes. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's like a
Okay.
movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, they, I mean, like, and the place is packed, which is what I was remarking to my friend. Like, Paramount should really pay attention because them not doing it is a disservice to what they're going to be, what they're planning to do with the last Airbender movie.
Right.
Um, taking it away from a theatrical release. If they're not looking and seeing what Netflix is doing
Mm-hmm.
and how packed it was crazy. Like I don't remember seeing the theater this packed since before COVID. Um, whenever people would go, like namely during like Christmas time, that's
Yeah.
really the time where I'd say the theater pretty packed.
Mm-hmm.
But this was pretty crazy. Like it was insane how many people came out to watch the finale in theaters because it had also released on Netflix as well. Like it's not releasing like a day or two later. Like it released at the same time and yet people still decided to go
It's the movies to
and
watch
watch it
it.
in theaters. Yeah.
Dang. Hmm.
So, um I think yeah. And I can't imagine how much money Netflix has made from it. I can't imagine how much money the theaters have made from it, but yeah, Paramount better be paying attention because they they need to release that in theaters.
They made
They're
buku bucks with it, huh?
they're being dumb. Like they're being stupid.
I haven't heard anything else about the deal between Netflix and WB, but yeah,
Hmm.
if this is any indicator, they really need to hunker down and start releasing more properties in theaters. Theaters still have life in them, man. People still love to go to theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us don't have home theater systems, folks. I'll be lucky if I can get surround sound in my house. I need to check that out though. I didn't see, well, I haven't had a chance to go to the theaters in a while, so I didn't see anything about the finale playing in my area, but I would
Oh,
love to
yeah,
see it in theaters.
I think it's an AMC partnership. Like
Mhm.
I don't think Cinemark is broadcasting it or whatever. So I think it's AMC. I don't know if they're doing it for more than just a week, kind
Yeah.
of like how they
Yeah.
did K-pop Demon Hunters on specific days as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it was really cool. And I think a lot of people who like I'm not really picky. Um I know when something's bad.
Right.
Uh but I can enjoy something for what it is and seeing how this property like I've stuck with it since it released.
Mhm.
Um, I don't see this not being like a terrible ending, like a lot of people are saying it is, but
Yeah.
that's just me. I guess I'm saying like go into it with like low expectations.
Yeah.
And also just kind of knowing what the actual message of the show is. Yeah, that sort of thing.
What are they mostly saying about the finale?
Um, the writing is bad
Oh.
for the last few episodes
Mm-hmm.
plus finale.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's mainly it. Like, and there's a lot of plot holes that were left unanswered. Um, in which case, a lot of the big ones were answered, but
Mm-hmm.
not in the the series. They were answered in I don't know if you know this, but they created a play, a stage play
Yeah.
for Stranger Things
Right.
that was centered around the villain of the story, Vecna
Yeah.
or Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Like it shows his backstory. So if you don't really know, like make yourself aware of what the stage play is covering,
Yeah.
you won't get some of the stuff that's happening in the show,
I
which
see
is
what
what
you mean.
yeah, which is what people were like, you guys didn't explain this, but like they did. They just didn't make it widely available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I was checking out the local theaters that are around me. None of those sons of bitches are showing it. Uh, I'm just gonna have to watch it on my TV. That sucks.
That's fine. But it
It's
is
fine.
cool
Yeah,
in
yeah,
theater.
it's something that would be really cool to see in theaters, especially since you know that they kind of like filmed it for theaters to a degree. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be interesting enough, watching it on at home, but seeing it in theaters is just so much better.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to. Well, I gotta finish watching this season. I'm still only about 2 episodes in. I've been so terrible at keeping up with any kind of media. I think and it's mostly just been because of the holidays.
Yeah, I think that's to do with a lot of things.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Mark is saying that he had no idea about the stage play. Where can you catch the stage play at? Can you watch it anywhere else other than going to the actual? I mean, where did they release it?
So you can't, it hasn't been released for streaming.
Oh,
Um you can find a bootleg of it
okay.
on YouTube. And here's a funny little tidbit, tips and tricks
Uh
from your fellow nerd that likes watching plays and musicals.
Yep.
I hadn't learned this until my best friend taught me it though, because she's really into musicals. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're trying to find a bootleg of a musical or a play online, you kind of might have a chance finding it on YouTube, but it's not going to be under the title of the play or musical
Really?
specifically.
Uh huh.
Like they'll title it something somewhat similar to what the play is named,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll title it that and then they'll say it's a slime tutorial.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
to
So
get
they're
it.
just getting around the copyright issue.
Yeah, and to
Okay.
keep it from getting taken down
Right.
immediately. I don't know how that works. Maybe
Yeah.
there's
How does that
just a
work?
ton of slime tutorials online.
Dude,
Um,
I got hammered on Tuesday by YouTube just because I just to let everybody know, on Mondays and Tuesdays I release the VOD for the streams and I usually edit them, which means I add a little bit of something something to every VOD. So like whenever we talk about any specific topics, I'll add like an image, or if we're talking about a specific property that has a video or music to it, sometimes I'll add the video without any sound, thinking that I'm going to sidestep the copyright issue, right? And so you remember how last stream we were talking about Gorillaz, and Gorillaz recently released a video that goes along with their Cracker Island album, right? And
Hmm.
so while you were talking about Cracker Island on the stream, I was going to put up the video and show the video without any music. It was just going to be the visuals, right? I got slammed for copyright and I had to
Mm.
remove it. It also did the same thing to me for what was that other thing we were talking about? There was something else. Was it Sabrina Carpenter? Maybe I had to remove that one. I don't remember specifically, but I had to remove another video because I got slammed because and it's not like I put it in the description or anything. It was just the video of it. So I wonder how these guys are getting away with putting out entire freaking stage plays. That's nutty, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is cool that I got to watch it. But
Yeah.
um, if you don't manage to get it before it gets taken down,
Mm-hmm.
just watch a synopsis of it from like a YouTuber.
A
There's a ton of them
breakdown.
who, yeah, who
Yeah.
basically explain what happens in the play word for word. Yeah,
I might
but
just do that because I haven't seen the play myself. So,
it is, yeah, it it would be cool to go and see it in person or see
mm-hmm.
them give it the Hamilton treatment where they film it to be streamed.
Yeah,
That
so
would
you
be
can
cool.
actually see a portion of the story that most people who watch just the TV show are going to completely miss out on.
Yeah, that and they do some pretty cool effects in the show
That's cool.
that they don't do. Well, they do a bunch of effects in these
Yeah,
types of
yeah.
shows.
But it's
Um,
really cool seeing the artistry of stage plays and how they translate certain special effects. Um,
mhm.
Whenever I went to go see, like I've seen Christmas Carol a number of times, I've seen Dracula a number of times, and just seeing how each playhouse translates the special effects is so cool to watch, man. Like
Mhm.
going to plays are really fun for me because I was never much of a theater kid, right? I've done some acting for like independent movies with friends, but really it's the artistry behind it that I really
Yeah.
admire, you know. But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Did you do anything else from past week that caught your interest?
Um, I I am rewatching Loki.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Are you on the
yeah.
first season or second season?
Well, I started with the second season
Okay.
and cuz I love the show so much
Mm-hmm.
and I think just seeing like him make his decision towards the end
Yeah.
really hit me hard, but I did miss like the comedic moments. Like he had so many in the first season. Such like his sarcasm and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. So I
It's
was like,
true.
let me just rewatch the first season again. So that's where I
Right.
am right now. But yeah, like in the wake of Doomsday happening next year,
Oh my
I
god, yeah.
yeah. I was kind of hoping like trying to remember if they put a little teaser saying that Loki would appear in Doomsday, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be the case.
Well,
Um,
it might. And I say that only because have you seen the most recent drop, or I guess we should call it teaser um for Doomsday?
no, I haven't.
So in this teaser, this one centers around Thor. And
Oh, okay.
he's pretty much in the forest and he's praying to his father, the All Father, right? Um, Anthony Hopkins character, and he's talking about like um that he's having to go into battle again, and it doesn't scare him to go into battle, but he does have someone to look after now, which is his child that he adopted in Love and Thunder. Did you ever watch Love and Thunder by any chance?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So
That's good.
the child at the end that he ends up adopting in Love and Thunder, that he sees as being his legitimate child, right? And
Mhm.
so he is praying to his dad, saying to help him come back to his daughter, to kind of teach her the peaceful life, because she's never had to worry um about a life of war like he has, right?
Mhm.
And so it's leading me to believe that we are essentially looking at, well, one, um, it's centering around a kid again, right? Just like with the Captain America teaser. Um,
Mhm.
but two, since it seems as if Thor is gonna play kind of a heavy role in this movie, I'd be surprised if we don't get Loki in Doomsday, because I think he's also gonna play a gigantic role in what Doom is going to be doing across the multiverse, right?
Mm.
And I got
Yeah.
a funny suspicion, man. I got a funny suspicion the Russo brothers are going to try to make me cry because this is going to deal with kids.
Mhm.
Dude, almost so I was thinking about this, right? So the last two movies, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, right? Thunderbolts
Mhm.
had a lot to do with Yelena and her relationship with her father, right? And it
Mhm.
had a lot to do with uh, the Sentry and how his parents molded his mental illness, right? And then we got Fantastic Four, which had a lot to do with Reed Richards trying to protect his family, but especially his newly born son, right? And
Mhm.
now we're getting a teaser of Captain America and his kid, and now another teaser of Thor, lamenting about his own child. Dude, I think this whole thing somehow is gonna center around family, parents and kids, and I don't know if there's gonna be a dry eye in the house, man. Like I got this funny suspicion that they're gonna hit real hard about family, and I'm so hyped for it, but I'm so interested and worried on what they're gonna be doing. Oh my god. Like,
Are we gonna watch the teaser on here or?
yeah, yeah, let's take a look at the teaser. Let me pull it up right now and see. So you can see what I am talking about. Here we go. Here, let me go ahead and quiet Spotify. All right. Okay, I'm going to start the teaser right now. I just know it, man. I know they're gonna try to hit. they're gonna try to hit the, those soft points, and it's gonna wreck me. I got a feeling it's gonna wreck me.
I I think now that I'm looking at these trailers, it does look kind of familiar.
Mm-hmm.
The the logo at the end where it's green
Yeah.
and stuff like that, is that what makes you think that Loki might come back or appear?
Yeah, so the logo, the designs that you see behind the logo, they're going for like this stained glass look, which,
Mhm.
so if you know anything about Doom, he has a castle in a made up country called Latveria, right?
Mhm.
And in this castle, he has a lot of stained glass. It's, for some reason, it kind of always goes hand in hand with the character, almost like a symbol of him. But I think the
No,
other thing is that it's kind of pointing towards. Did you ever watch the What If series,
I
where
did.
you would have, all these characters jumping from multiverse to multiverse, right? And
Mhm.
they always represented it as being like this fragmented glass that you would have to pierce, right? And
Mm.
I think it represents a number of things. The green of the mosaic glass, the way it's positioned behind the Avengers logo, and then I'm pretty sure Tom Hiddleston is listed as being part of the Doomsday cast, but
Really?
don't
They
quote me
have
on
that
that.
already?
Let me check. Let me see the cast list. I know they've announced him for you remember whenever did you ever see whenever Marvel released that teaser where they were like, this thing went on for like, I think, 12 hours, and it was just a live stream of them showing directors chairs with the name of the actors on there.
No.
Oh, you never. Okay, so there was a whole thing, man. It lasted all stinking day, and all it was a empty studio warehouse and a spotlight. And the spotlight, like, I swear, every 30 minutes would highlight a new chair of the actors that were going to be in the movie, right? And each chair had the actor's name on it, and it would just go down a line, and at the very end they revealed that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be in the movie, and it was the first time them kind of announcing a lot of the actors that were going to be in this movie. But Tom Hiddleston was one of the actors, so he's
Ooh.
definitely a part of it. The real question is, like,
As what?
exactly. Like, I mean, he's gonna be, well, like, what role is he gonna play, and how is he gonna be interacting with Doom, right? Because right now he's essentially the god of time, right?
Mhm.
He's the one that's keeping all of the timelines together. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting because Doom, um, we're assuming that Doom's going from timeline to timeline, universe to universe, gathering something, right? And we don't know
Mhm.
exactly his motives yet, but since he has already visited Franklin Richards at the end of Fantastic Four, he either A, comes from that universe, or he came from a different universe, right? And the
Mhm.
fact that he's playing Tony Stark, I think they've alluded to the fact that I'm sorry, the fact that he's being played by Robert Downey Jr. They have alluded to the fact that Doom, it might be a alternate version of Tony Stark.
A variant.
Yes, a
Yeah.
variant that went down a path that was more paranoid than what Tony went down, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see um A, to figure out what his motives are, but B, figure out how he's going to be interacting with, Loki, the god of time. Like, is
Mhm.
Loki like gonna try to stop him from doing what he's doing? Is he gonna be like killing entire timelines? Like who the hell knows? But I am fucking here for it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mark said, didn't they have all of those chairs with the cast list a while back? Yeah, man. This was like, I think in the beginning of last year they had introduced all those chairs. So we've known for a little while everyone that was going to be in Doomsday. Now, the other thing that I should probably mention is that this is the list of actors that they ended up releasing may not just be in Doomsday, right? Because Doomsday is just part 1. Part 2 is Secret Wars, which they're releasing the next year, right? So they're releasing these movies kind of back to back as a part 1 and a part 2. So, you know, could Loki show up in this movie or the next one? Who knows? Depends on
Mhm.
how big his role is. But I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's going to be pretty freaking huge.
It yeah, and it has to be divided into two parts, maybe
Oh
even
yeah.
more,
Yeah.
just because like and the last arc, the last final
Mhm.
battle was broken into two as well.
Yeah.
Eh, but the difference with that is we knew the motive for Thanos.
Yeah.
We
We
don't
have
we don't know
no
the
idea.
motive for Doom. Yeah.
Yeah. It
We
that's
just know it has something to do with the multiverses
yeah.
because of all this stuff that's happening with the multiverses.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's kind of been so if you know anything about the backstory to this entire multiverse saga, right? Probably so originally we were gonna have King, right? And we had King right up until the whole deal happened with the what was that actor's name? Crap, crap, I can't remember his name. Um,
Jonathan Majors?
yes, Jonathan Majors, right? So we were gonna have the entire story was gonna focus around King, who was going to be hopping from multiverse to multiverse, and essentially he was going to be fighting himself, or what it alludes to at the end of Quantumania is that they were all getting together to kind of fight the Avengers because the Avengers were starting to touch the multiverse, as they said, right? And the
Yeah.
multiverse is their domain, right? It was King's domain. So we kind of understood King's motive on why he was going to be the big bad. And they set him up as the big bad as early as the Loki movies, right? Or I'm sorry,
Mhm.
The Loki TV show. And then the whole thing with Jonathan Majors happened and he got fired, right? So now he was no longer going to be the big threat for the Avengers movies, which originally this movie was titled Avengers King's Dynasty, and then the second movie was always going to be the same, which is Secret Wars, right? But now it's called Avengers Doomsday, and they kind of just like this sounds bad, but they just kind of threw Doom into this, right? Now,
Yeah.
from reports that I've heard is that they were kind of flirting with the idea of bringing Doom into the picture a while back, even before Jonathan Majors got into his legal troubles, right? And
Mhm.
that they were going to get rid of King because King wasn't testing as well as they thought, right? Which personally, I thought that King was a really good character. I loved Jonathan Majors and Loki, and I loved him in Quantumania. I think in Quantumania he was probably the best thing in that entire movie. Um,
Mhm.
and I think Michelle Pfeiffer really stole that movie too. But regardless, now we have Doom being thrown in as the big bad. but we don't know diddly squat about him. And I think Mark is onto something, right? So Mark in chat, he says there is this one comic infamous called Infamous Iron Man where Doctor Doom becomes Iron Man. And he's right. There is a comic out there called Infamous Iron Man where, essentially Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom. He experiments with magic and he kind of becomes that character. Um if I were to give a guess, and this is just me guessing because honestly I have no idea. Um if this is a variant of Tony Stark, then it's either Tony Stark getting to a level of paranoia. You remember after like the original Avengers movie where um, he goes through the Battle of New York and he becomes really paranoid, right? He goes through panic attacks because he doesn't he's afraid of what's going to happen next, right? He starts having these existential threats in his head. Um,
Mhm.
so what if that Tony Stark ended up like uh going to the extreme and incorporating magic into his technology via Doctor Strange or something to that degree, and then
Mm.
becoming Victor Von Doom, right? So that's one theory that's out there. The other theory is that Tony Stark himself is the variant. That Victor Von Doom is in the same in every multiverse, but specifically in the MCU, Tony Stark um being the anomaly, I guess,
Mm.
which is why he is kind of like the anchor being to the MCU. That whenever Tony Stark died, the MCU started to die. And it's kind of like this meta commentary on the MCU itself, right?
Mhm.
So those are the two theories that I've heard. it'll
Interesting.
it'll be real interesting how they decide to play this because from what the Russo brothers have said is that even though Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doom, that they have said that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom. They haven't said that Robert Downey Jr. is playing a Tony Stark variant. They say that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Victor Von Doom. So I can only assume that that means that Victor Von Doom is the is the is the um is the base, right? The normal one, the true variant that you see in every universe, and that Tony Stark was just some cosmic hiccup. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know, man, but I'm hyped. I'm hyped for it. Like it feels like it's gonna make me cry. It feels like it's going to shock everybody at some point. Um, but it does feel like nobody knows who the hell Victor Von Doom is, what's his motivation, or even where he comes from. Like, honestly, I thought they were going to introduce him in Fantastic Four to kind of give the audience a first look at him as a villain, but then they never introduced him. So, I mean,
Mhm.
this movie has a lot of um, a lot of ground to cover for Victor Von Doom because otherwise, the only thing anyone's ever been exposed to for the guy has been the other Fantastic Four movies. You know what I mean?
Is he in those movies?
Yeah, yeah, like the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies. The first one, he was the main villain, and the second movie, he was the secondary villain. And then in the rebooted Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan, um, Victor Von Doom was again the main villain in that story too.
Hmm.
So it wasn't until we got the new MCU Fantastic Four where Victor Von Doom was nowhere to be found until the very end. You know.
Yeah.
Has there been three? Mark asks, hasn't there been three actors who played Doctor Doom? Yes. So you have um, the Michael B. Jordan, uh, Doctor Doom. You had the I gotta refer to him as this because I don't remember exactly what year these movies were released. The Jessica Alba Doctor Doom, right? And then you had the early '90s Fantastic Four movie that was never released, and there was a Doom in that movie too. Doom has always been the Fantastic Four villain. It's just the first time the MCU has officially uh, taken their stab at it.
Hmm.
But it'll be interesting because the real question is, so we're getting Doom for the first time in Doomsday, and then obviously we're going to be getting him in Secret Wars. But it's like, are we going to continue to get Doom in any future movies, especially if they're going to be doing further Fantastic Four movies? Is he going to be a main villain for them, or is this, because I mean they're hyping him up to be a multi-universal threat at this point, right? About as much as a threat as Thanos, if not more, I'm assuming. So, man, like that is a hell of a lot of ground to cover. I'm
Hmm.
interested to see what they do on it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm anticipating this, but it also has a lot of questions surrounding it. I recently saw the have you seen, Lily, by any chance, the leaked X-Men teaser for Doomsday?
So a separate teaser,
Yeah,
but
there's a third one out there,
for
but it's for the X-Men.
okay. No, I haven't.
Yeah, so apparently that was the one that was released with the Avatar movie. So anyone who
Hmm.
went to go see the Avatar movie got to see the X-Men teaser. Um, and I've found it online because I don't know when I'm ever going to get a chance to go see Avatar.
Hmm.
So I have found it and I watched it, and it's really good. And we get to see some costumes that we've never seen in an X Men movie. We get to see the X Mansion, and it's kind of dilapidated and torn up. And we get to see Cyclops, James Marsden, for the first time in God knows how long. Um, and we get to see Professor X and Magneto, and which we've seen Professor X before, and what is it, the Multiverse of Madness. But whenever I was watching the teaser, it really made me question like what timeline of the X-Men this takes place in, because James Marsden is obviously in this universe, but in the original X-Men he died. So and not only that, but like in the original X-Men movies, Charles Xavier died I don't know how many times too. So I don't know how they're doing this, man. Like I'm super excited for this movie, but I don't know how they're gonna rope all those storylines together. It's gonna be real interesting, man.
Hmm.
Um, what else have I seen in this past week? Oh, I wanted to ask you, since you're drawing a magical girl, um, have you seen this pilot on YouTube? Called, what is it called? Give me 1 second. Let me look at this. It is called Pretty Pretty Please. I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
this recently came across my timeline. I'm sorry, my For You page. Um, and I watched the pilot, and it is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. What do you know about it?
I followed the artist. Um, with them releasing their sketches for the pilot,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought the character designs were really cool.
Yeah.
Um, it's not obviously it calls back to anime because it's, you know,
It's got the
magical
expressions
girls,
and yeah, yeah,
but it's more of a cartoony, leaning towards an American
yeah.
type
Right.
uh drawing style. Um, yeah, so I'd followed it from the beginning. Not close to the beginning, I mean, because it hadn't the the pilot hadn't released yet, so
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough to see just the steps going towards it. I saw some of the clips for the pilot
Yeah.
of them, little animatics that would go into it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some of the voice acting that was going into it as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite actors right now is in it. He's playing the villain
Oh yeah, the
character.
villain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's two of them. There's a male antagonist and a female antagonist.
Right.
And yeah. Um it's it's a cool take on it. Like I like how there's so many takes on the magical girl
Mm-hmm.
IP. Like you can do anything with this sort of thing. If you have imagination, you can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Um and I kind of like this idea of this girl who doesn't want to be a magical girl. Like she just wants to be normal,
Mm-hmm.
which I think someone has done before. Um like I think it's them not wanting to be the main character, like
Yeah.
just wanting to live a normal life. And I think that stuff is so funny cuz it's like there's so much stories you can explore with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just them dodging the limelight. Um yeah, and
Dude,
I think it taking place in a more American type,
high school.
yeah,
Yeah.
scenery is
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool as well.
Dude, I was genuinely laughing during the pilot. Like especially the animation that she did where she attacks the villain's shins with a lead pipe.
With a pipe, yeah.
Dude, I was dying. And then like she's like beating him with this pipe and then like going towards the end, like the friend is asking her like why aren't you using like a star beam to defeat him or something, and she's like, well, a lead pipe takes care of it just as well. and
This
like
is
at,
good.
and then the villain like flips over, to give his little villain speech like he's not defeated yet. His legs are all mangled. Dude, it was funny as hell. I did not
Mhm.
know anything about this. I think I saw it on Threads. Um and I followed the link to the YouTube video. And it's mostly it's wholly unfinished, right? It's all just keyframes.
Mhm.
And the voice acting is completely finished along with the sound effects, which really carries this pilot because like I said, it is mostly just keyframes until that one scene where it's just fully animated. um
Mhm.
but oh my god, dude, it was so fucking funny. And have you heard anything else about this? Like, are they getting the funding to turn this into an actual show?
Yeah, I that's usually the next step is them
Mm-hmm.
getting, funding from a studio or whatever,
Right.
and then just seeing like audience response, like seeing if people actually like it.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of indie animations start. Like the Amazing Digital Circus. Like
The
they're
Amazing
working.
Digital Circus. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're with what studio is it with? So I think they're this that property, Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl, is trying to find a studio to work with if they
Okay.
hadn't already.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's usually what the next step is if they can't get crowdfunding like through Kickstarter or whatever.
Right. Right.
Um, so the Amazing Digital Circus is with Glitch Productions. Yeah,
Okay.
and they're a popular indie animation studio.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like Has Been Hotel. That
Oh,
was
okay.
an indie animation.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an
I
indie
also
before they got picked up.
yeah, and by I think Dark Horse Animations
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Yeah, I followed the artist for that one way before she did the pilot even
Yeah.
for Has Been Hotel, which is it's just cool seeing their journey,
Mm-hmm.
um, how they get to the point that they are now.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's what's happening with this property. They're just finding a studio. But I think they're getting a lot of attention. So
Oh, and my apologies if anybody hears loud banging in the background. Apparently, I have neighbors that are still setting off martyr fireworks out there. um, but yeah, man, it is so funny. I really do hope they get picked up by a studio because it would be so awesome to see where they decide to take this character. And if the writing is on par with what they've already released, dude, I'm all for it. Because
yeah.
my God, was it good? Like I'm definitely following the artist now. I was not aware of the artist and that property until now.
hmm I think my favorite moment from that show, the pilot, was
Hmm.
when she transforms into a magical girl, it's just a blip. Like
Yeah,
you don't see a magical transformation, and
yeah.
the friend is like, "Oh, is that it?" And then she's like, "Oh, whatever."
She's like,
And
well,
then
yeah, kind of.
when it's time to be like a normal person, she's like, "Yay!" And she actually gets a magical transformation to becoming a normal girl again.
Uh-huh.
Like
That's
that's
very
hilarious.
symbolic.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's very symbolic. It kind of shows like she cares more, like she feels oppressed to kind of be like having to play the magical girl role, and then her turning back into her pedestrian self is more freeing for her. So it becomes a whole sequence of her just like at one point she like destroys her platform shoes into regular sneakers. It's awesome, man.
hmm
I really enjoyed it. I ran across another independent um pilot that is done by the same creator as did you ever watch that movie Book of Life?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so it's the same creator. His name is Jorge Jimenez or
Mhm.
Gutierrez. That's right, Jorge Gutierrez, and it's this project, uh, a pilot project that he's coming out with called El Guapo versus the Narco Vampires, and it looks freaking good, man. Like I love that we're having all these independent um projects just kind of hitting the scene.
hmm
Let me show you the video to that one. Give me 1 second here.
I really like that artist. He's the one who created El Tigre
Yeah, yeah.
on Nickelodeon. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and El Tigre was super good.
Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Here we go.
The sound is not playing, I
Oh,
think.
it's not? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I think I know why. Here we go. I got it now. Sorry about that.
cool. I
Dude, it
like that it's
looks.
2D
Uh-huh.
animated too.
I know, right? I love this callback to 2D again, man.
Mm-hmm.
It is so freaking awesome. Like I've been, you know, 3D has kind of like taken over the landscape for the past decade, if not more, since the introduction of Pixar, and pretty much everybody went 3D at that point. But I miss the 2D stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was one of the things like it was for that reason why I got so deep into um I got so deep into the anime scene because I missed the traditional 2D animations, right?
Mm.
Like we weren't getting them for the longest. And so now that we have a number of independents getting back into it, dude, just inject it into my veins, man.
Yeah. It it's more costly.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but I do appreciate that people are still leaning back on it, you know.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that they're willing to still put in the time, that you have people out there that um in a world of AI art, you still have artists out there that are just like, you know what? No, fuck that. We are going to create something that we love
Mhm.
and that we want to see to the very end, you know? Like
Yeah.
I've loved it. Just those two projects alone. Like I'm down. You know, if they want funding, tell me where to donate money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope we get more of them. They're only gonna make the animation landscape better, right? I don't see them making it any more. I mean, it's kind of become kind of uniform for the past decade, if not more, of various Pixar looking movies. So I mean, I knew that it was over the moment they released a 3D SpongeBob. I was like, oh well, that's the end of it.
I mean, that's been going on for a while,
Exactly.
but
That's my point exactly. It's been going on
I
too long.
yeah. I yeah, I think I still think you can do a lot of cool stuff with 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's stuff you can do with everything, right? But
Yeah, yeah,
there's
for
just
sure.
there's just a labor of love that comes with 2D animation and
Mm-hmm.
um which reminds me for New Year's I sat and watched um Toy Story, the first Toy Story with my family.
Oh yeah.
Um and just seeing how far we've come with 3D animation.
Oh dude.
Like when you watch it, it still looks pretty good, but like when you watch it and you know how far we've come, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, like
Yeah,
it's cool to look back.
it's one of those things that whenever I watch the original Toy Story, um, I think the only thing that dates that movie is the way the humans look. We've
Oh
gotten
yeah,
so much better at animating humans.
especially with the hair.
Oh man,
Like
the hair.
it's typically the hair, you can
Yeah, they
tell.
were they were like trying to animate each individual strand. It was like, why are you
Mhm.
guys doing that? I mean, I get
I
it. The
mean, you
technology
can,
was early, you know.
yeah, you can, and it has been done. Like they did
Yeah.
some groundbreaking stuff with Moana. Like they created a whole AI just to generate or help with the physics
Oh
of
yeah.
each strand of hair.
Of curly hair. Yeah, that had to be
Yeah,
real
like
hard.
it's crazy. But yeah, how just seeing how far we've come with that. And then my older brother brought up a movie that I don't remember
Hmm.
because we were reminiscing about movies we kept watching back to back, and Toy
Mm-hmm.
Story was one of them. But he brought up this film called Little Nemo. It was
Oh.
released in
Yeah.
1989 or
Yeah, I know
it's
exactly what
really
you're talking about.
yeah.
Man,
I have
that's
no
a
idea
callback.
Yeah, I have no idea about that movie, but he was like, "Yeah, I used to watch that all the time." And he
Mm-hmm.
put it on because it's free on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it was animated by a Japanese studio. You can really tell
Mm-hmm.
because they kind of have this look and feel to it that's kind of Ghibli-esque.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but also like it was obviously marketed towards an American audience because the mouth, like the mouth syncing, the mouth shapes and stuff like that, it synced with the English.
Oh,
So
I see.
yeah,
Yeah. I guess I never noticed it back then. I do remember
yeah,
seeing it years and years ago, but I never watched it. I think I've only ever watched it maybe once or twice, and it was whenever it came on TV, you know? But yeah, I do remember thinking that it was an American studio that created it because of the way um the lips were synced, right? You can always kind of tell the way, in like old school animation, whether or not the animation studio was going off of American voice actors. You could always tell that
yeah.
they tried their damnedest to capture not only the acting of the voice actor but also the mouth movements and expressions.
Hmm.
um yeah, and I guess I never knew that it was a Japanese production.
Yeah. Um, that's to say, it being released in 1989,
Mhm.
whatever, like the animation is top notch.
Oh,
Like it
yeah.
was it was really good. Like you can tell it's from that era of animation just by
Yeah.
how the what's the word? It didn't look crisp, like
Right, right, and the flow of the
yeah,
animation's much different.
like it's a little pixelated,
Mhm.
because it's not made for our modern TVs, but
Yeah.
it was still really good, like,
The
everything
aspect ratio is all off.
flowed really well.
The,
They weren't meant to go this big, I guess, or with
dude,
this many pixels in the screen.
yeah. The animation of the late 80s and 90s was peak, man. Peak.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying it because it's my childhood, right? I'm saying it because like, some of the animations that come to mind are like um uh um Fievel Goes, wait.
Oh, American
Amer-
Tail,
yeah, American Tail.
Fievel Goes
Um
West. That's the one I remember.
yeah, The Secret of Nim. Um
Mhm,
Man, even the old Disneys, right? Like Lion King and Aladdin
mhm.
and Little Mermaid. Just the animation that came out during that time. Oh my god. Yeah, I still find myself, I think that's why I still gravitate towards 2D animation, because yeah, as a young kid who appreciated art, watching those was just damn near magical. Like
Mhm.
seeing, and like I said, the way the animation used to flow back then was just otherworldly, man.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling,
It just
really.
hit different.
Mhm.
Oh man. But yeah. Yeah. I look forward to this new generation of animation. It looks like it's going to be absolutely badass.
Me too. I think with all these artists and properties fighting back
Mhm.
against AI, that's what gives you like the hope. And then also, I kept forgetting to mention this. Um, you heard about the Game Awards, right?
Yes.
And how the one game got its title rescinded for being Game of the Year because it got um some of its content generated by AI.
Oh man, what game was it?
I don't remember.
Was it cuz I know that
It's hilarious though.
Claire, right? Claire, what is it called? Something 33. Expedition 33. Was it Expedition 33 that was caught for AI? Using AI in their process? Oh man, I
Yeah,
gotta look this up now.
yeah, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Yeah.
Oh no, they used
It was
AI?
it was voted. game of the year,
Yeah.
but due to the developers' confirmation of using generative AI assets
Uh-huh.
during production, it violates the rules. I think they said it was used to make textures or something. I
Hmm.
don't know. And then I think another game used AI voice acting.
Oh, it was Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders used AI voice acting. I remember hearing
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. I don't know about this one. I think it was textures, but it's
Hmm.
just like, dude, there's there's so many looking back at what humans have been able to accomplish with just
Yeah.
stock images,
Mm-hmm.
like there's so much properties that are free that you
Yeah.
can use that have been made by humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like people it it's so it's so painful to think about because like
It's true.
with how far we've come with art, like and seeing what goes into the production of any art piece, like humans can do it all. Humans can do anything. Um and they have done anything. Like people have made full-on video games by themselves with
Yes.
their own creation in mind
Mm-hmm.
and their own ability to create, or if they had not come out with that ability they learned, you know?
Yeah.
And they make giant masterpieces. Like for example, Toby Fox, creator of Undertale, like he
Mm-hmm.
made that whole game by himself. Like
Yes. Yeah. It's
with
it's
a little bit of help from maybe like two or three people. But like
yeah. You know,
it,
I think I've heard some people talk about like, oh well, they only used AI for um yeah, Mark says there are a ton of free assets out there for studios to use for backgrounds or textures. Exactly.
Mhm.
Like I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the AI that they used were just for little parts of the process. They weren't like designing entire characters with AI." Blah blah blah. But the problem is, the problem isn't only that um they didn't use the AI for big things like character creation or anything to that degree. The problem is that if you allow these companies even an inch, right, they're gonna take a mile out of it. And
Mhm.
that's why I think it's good for the art community and the gaming community and pretty much all the arts communities, right, to call out the usage of AI as soon as it rears its ugly little head, because it's, yeah, sure, in Expedition 33 it may have been, oh, all we did was use AI for textures, but what if they come out with the DLC where they used it even more, right? Because they were able to get away with the one time. Or like,
Yeah.
for instance, with Arc Raiders, I think they were using AI to for background voice acting, right?
Mhm.
And they were like, "Oh well, it's just for backgrounds. It's not even for the main characters. We got real artists, real voiceover artists for the characters themselves." But the problem is like people were like, "Well, since you have a successful game now, maybe you were trying to save money, sure. But now that you have a successful game, hire some voice actors to do that background stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's how a lot of voice actors get their foot in the door is by doing background stuff. So, hire these voice actors, you should be fine. Um, but yeah, we need to, even for something um, that some people may view as being minuscule, we need to hold their feet to the fire. Because, yeah, it starts off as something as simple as background voice acting for now or textures. But unfortunately, AI is just going to get better, right? It's not going to get worse. And so the better that AI gets, it's going to tempt these companies to use it even more. And
Mhm.
I think, yeah, hold their feet to the fire, strip them of their titles, so be it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get an argument from me here, man.
Mhm.
Do you want to go ahead and show off the art since we're close to the end of the 8 o'clock hour?
Yeah, I
Let's
think it's a
see
good
here.
place to.
Mine is obviously still in the planning stages. I think I'm getting
Mhm.
closer to what I want, but I want more. Um, I want more Native American inspiration in it, so I think I'm gonna start adding that next time. And then yours. Holy hell, man, that looks cool as hell.
Thank you.
Hey, do you remember by any chance? I remember a long, 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 long time ago. You showed me this sketch of what is it? Like owl inspired magical girls?
Oh yeah.
You remember
Mhm.
those?
Yeah.
This would look really cool in the same universe, man.
Maybe. Um, I'm not really good at creating like original content. But yeah, I remember her. Um,
Mhm.
her design was pretty simple. But I still really liked it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe it
remember
could
really
be.
liking that as well. Like that'd be cuz it kind of had it had a little bit of the same theme from what I remember. Yeah.
Mm,
But you know me, I can always come up with story concepts.
yeah,
It's the designing that I suck at. Oh
that's okay.
man. That's what I'm trying to learn from you, man.
Oh well, it takes a lot of appreciation
Right?
of different aspects of character design. A lot
Mhm.
of it's fashion, like I
I
was
know.
saying in one of our previous streams. But yeah,
Yeah.
like
I need to get deeper
um
into fashion.
it's okay, man. But I think you're headed in a good direction too for your character.
I need to,
But
yeah.
she doesn't she transform into a wolf?
Well, her not specifically this character. This character
Oh.
is more like a she's kind of like a enforcer, kind of like an
Mhm.
assassin, which is why I was pulling all the tactical gear references. But the
Mhm.
other thing is that there's also a deep underrooted Native American story for her that I wanna kind of incorporate to her design. But
Yeah.
she is also part of an organization um that's very Eurocentric, right? So I want to see like how can I incorporate like a European look while at the same time having this undertone of her native background story that begins to rear its head as the story progresses. So I kind of want it's the reason why I included the axe because I kind of wanted this callback to some of the old native weapons. And plus,
Mhm.
whenever she goes into fights, she needs to be in close proximity, right? So, what I always found interesting is that every time you have a female protagonist and she is a fighter, right? Or a soldier of some sort, they always make female protagonists snipers or somebody that causes damage from far away.
Mhm.
And it's because a lot of people have this stereotypical assumption that women can't be proficient hand to hand hand to hand fighters, right?
Mhm.
But because she uses telepathy in a lot of her fighting, that she's the kind of character where she has to be up close and personal and touching the other individual whenever she fights, right? In order to incorporate the telepathy part of her abilities. So I was looking for more close quarter weapons that'll allow her to get that close that were also inspired by Native American weapons. And in Native American traditions, they used a shit ton of clubs and axes, and they also used bow and arrows and spears as well. But those clubs and axes really allows them to get up close and personal. So
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna incorporate that, but it's gotta be unconscious in a way.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I gotta explore that a little bit more.
Alrighty. So I think that should be it for this stream, you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Hope your new year, even though it's the second day in 2026, is going well. You can find Esso on Esso Art Studio on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. No longer Twitter, because screw Twitter. Go
Exactly.
check them out, give them a follow. You can follow me at Lily Lilac Draws on Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, and TikTok. If you'd like to check out our coffee page, um, and check out some pending projects that we're going to be doing soon this year, give us a donation. We'd kindly appreciate it. All links are down below. It's always a pleasure to unwind together and talk about the things that inspired us this week. We'll see you next time, and remember, be creative.